I want to mention an article from Steve Magness.
Okay.
He is, as far as I can tell, he is the best guy. He's the go-to guy if you want to learn about endurance sports, but more specifically running. He is as good as it gets. He's fairly non-controversial. He walked the walk himself. He ran a 4-minute mile, around that time in high school. He was one of the top high school runners. And then he moved into academia and kind of covered all practical bases and science bases. So when it comes to things like this, I very much at least would, value an opinion like this.
Yeah.
And he spun it positive. He was the kid where he at an impressionable age, when he was exposed to this test, he didn't know what he was good at. He felt like he had no physical strengths. He didn't know. He failed at the sit and reach test and failed at this other test. But when he had to line up against his friends, he realized, oh my gosh, I am the fastest kid in the class. I'm the fastest kid in the school. I'm the fastest kid in the state. So for him, it was this launch point into something that became his career and in an arena where he's helping people. Not only with just the science and the performance aspect of things, but also how to, really structure your life to contain running, so he is a beacon for that sort of thing. And so for him to kind of spin it in a positive, and again, not to discredit these terrible experiences that people had, which were more likely an effect of the era that they were in, and a more likely an effect of the gym teacher that they had.
Oh yeah.
And that in the curriculum that the gym teacher found themselves in. And, it can get really, it can really get lost in the weeds there as to why that experience, what it was.
Right.
Cause not every school was this way. I mean, there's so many, just depend. It's like era specific. It's year specific. It's district specific.
Having a bad math teacher can make you hate math.
Yeah.
I mean,
that doesn't mean math is bad.
The peers in your gym class can throw off the entire experience that you have.
Right. And like standardized tests for academics, are they perfect in every way?
Right.
I don't know. Do kids feel humiliated when they have to change classes based on maybe a metric that they tested in school? I don't. It's maybe not as glaring as a physical test, but like, again, the point is you can make these sort of arguments where there is this like leaderboard-ish sort of performance-ish applying to schools track that we're all on, But the last thing I wanted to say about Magness was just that, he points out that it's, again, this test allows us to have the conversation, but the real issue comes in when you start talking about the structure, maybe the curriculum of a lot of these physical education classes. And just directly from his article, he says that a simple test won't fix the state of American physical fitness, but it can spark a crucial conversation about the purpose of gym class. It starts with treating physical education like a real subject. Right now, only 15% of elementary students and 9% of middle school students are required to have at least 3 days of PE a week. And class sizes can reach up to an unmanageable 75 students per teacher.
Yeah.
So what if we, he says, what if we treat PE instead of glorified babysitting and we made it a core part of the curriculum, safe environment, et cetera? I feel like I've been hearing those things for years. And again, not every school is going to be exactly how he says it. I felt like I had a pretty, we did all types of things in gym,
so too.
It's not all bad. Hey, I still like sports. I remember my gym teachers. It was a lot of fun, but my dad also, showed me the importance of exercising. Right. So I was I was maybe luckier than the average student too. And you have to be aware of that. But point being, there's still just a systemic issue that maybe if Trump approaches this, like, hey, the test, let's bait and hook everybody with this change in the test and going back to the old way. But there's like a massive overhaul here that needs to be done. And like Magness said, students are required to have less than 3 days of PE a week. Like that alone is completely incongruent with what's recommended in the physical activity guidelines. For adults, it's 150 to 300 minutes a week of pretty serious aerobic exercise. It's lifting and training all major muscle groups 2+ times a week. There's no way that for kids who are in school 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, that it's possible to do that. Because then you're assuming that before school, they have the resources to plan for the thing that they're going to do after school. And then are they going to do the thing after school? Are their parents involved? Are they not involved? What area are they in?
Yep.
All these things that like the schools, it's like, that's the biggest opportunity. I don't know what the answer is. We can riff on it all day, But again, it's just, that's a prime example of it being incongruent with what's being recommended, because the assumption is that, well, they can go home and do these things.
Yeah.